So y'all know I went walking today, right? And boy, look what I found. Uncle Trump, I think North Carolina need more than 2,000 a month for what they digging up out of North Carolina grounds and why they ran Trump out of here. This is why they want to be Democrat family, because this is what they pulling out of these grounds. Right? This the bottle in Charlotte where they made their first cross family. This bottle right here got a whole lot of DNA in it that will link them to a whole lot of crime going on in this city. Now, anytime you go to a tobacco shop and they sell everything but tobacco, I mean, they got prescription there. You can go in there and get you a prescription of some Percocets at the tobacco shop. I mean, you can't even go get no natural leaf tobacco. And then we don't know what this stuff is. We don't know what this is, so I just use this as a jar to put some North Carolina tobacco in. We don't know what this is in the store, right? But they got Percocets in the store that you can go to the tobacco shop and buy. But no good quality tobacco. Them stones right there is all over the ground in North Carolina. Hell, I'm picking up diamonds. I'm picking up gold. And this is why they bum rush North Carolina for the land grab, because they want what's inside this ground. Our oil and our gas and our natural resources down here in North Carolina. You got to pay attention to why they trying to use the law and why they were pressed on those DEI jobs for a program. Right? We gave them the jobs. We allowed them to come in and work. And what did they do with the jobs? They turned our country into a laboratory. Right here in Greenville, they're using that college as a whole laboratory to push these drugs and that fentanyl through. Using these stores and these doctor offices to push these drugs through. And that's probably why they put something in my stomach and keep cutting my intestines out. Because they were stuffing shit inside of me and I ain't had no clue what was going on in me, right? They want organs. That's why they get mad when they see us smoking. They want our organs. They making money off organ transplant through that hospital. That's another thing that they around here running game on. This is why they got the local community with a bunch of poison food outside. This is why when you go to these stores, they got an attitude that they want to holler racist, but they're only racist to the Americans. They're not racist to each other. Y'all seen the video of that girl up there talking about they needed help because they felt fear? How? How you feeling fear, baby, when y'all got all this cocaine and drugs running through our stores out here? You even working your kids with the book bags with it, baby. What do we do with that? Especially when the local community, I go to the store, I buy a product one day, it's $2.50. I go back, it's $2.75. Then I go to the Dollar Tree today. The man tell me, well, the Dollar Tree ain't gonna be $1 no more, baby. The Dollar Tree ain't no dollar no way. We can go to Walmart and get those same products for 98 cents that you pushing in the Dollar Tree for now $2. He got mad when I explained that to him, baby. Walmart got $1 out with the same products you got. And then sometimes they'll drop it down to 98 cents. Just that I won't own that side of town. That's why we stopped to the Dollar Tree. But we shop at Walmart first because the Dollar Tree done got out of control with trying to price gouge the local community here. Now, if you're in a community where the people are already living on low income as it is, right? Most of them receiving some kind of federal government benefit, right? That will be a way for them to drain our resources out by sending those people here. Get the cash now. Now, you know that the Democrats just lost. They was in office for 8 years and didn't do nothing with themselves but cold out the cities that they were in to steal. If Trump got in office. Now we see that. Soon as they lost, they became sore losers and couldn't handle somebody else in power. And that's when it becomes sad because, baby, if you're running in the office claiming that you're here to build up your community and you're doing everything but building up a community with the money you claim you were building it for, make it make sense. with your argument and why you out there begging for money. Because a lot of this that's going on in North Carolina has to do with them in those asylum states trying to turn North Carolina blue again. Because like I said, we decided as the Democrats that were real Democrats that we didn't want to deal with those people that came in to steal the country as terrorists. Just like they got into the Republican office to come in as terrorists. Trying to play both sides of the fence, calling it a bipartisan bill. That is them controlling who is in that house and who is in that bill office to pass these bills. We know this. We are very aware of the game they've been playing on the American people for our money and our resources. You live with Snapchat Queen and AI Chatbot friends. Boy, I just had to show y'all. Ain't that a beautiful sunset? Boy, it's beautiful. I just had to show y'all these stones real quick. And that trade right there that started it all back in Charlotte with them on this goose egg hunt. This was at a hotel, by the way, that they got tracked out by the doctor offices where they hiding it. Pick and go, right? We just got to be aware of what's going on around you so you know how to protect yourself. Because right now they're on a price gouging, a penny pinching the Americans. Because if they're living on a green card, tap and go, that's that green dot y'all see everywhere. That's them coding with each other with the money. That's them coding each other with how to move the product around, right, without being noticed. But Greenville ain't but this big, and everybody in Greenville know each other. The only thing you gotta do is go get those yearbooks, and it'll tell you who the residents of this town is and who ain't. I mean, we keep life simple. We don't know how they do it in them other states, and this is why they got a problem with an ID. Because with an ID, they could tell the difference between you and me. So why would we not want a digital ID when we see that y'all are online stealing our stuff, right? And it's a way for them to make sure that you ain't saying you Snapchat Queen and I'm Snapchat Queen, right? It's to make sure that you are not able to hack into my information and steal my information without AI knowing, no, that's not her. So we are for a digital ID. They call it the mark of the beast because they won't be able to scam no more. It's a difference. You got to think how they think it. It's just like when they call it a holy war, that was a gay war. That was them being gay and wanting to go around the world spreading their AIDS and disease around with their homosexuality. We don't have nothing against nobody who and what they do in their bedroom, but at the end of the day, if you spreading disease around and you know that you infected, baby, you need to let somebody know that. Because now you're playing with somebody's life. It's a difference. I got plenty of friends and family that go both ways. It don't matter to me, long as it don't affect me and what I got going on in my life. But when you try to make it part of our life because you want to come over here infected intentionally to try to get somebody infected because you done messed up your state of mind, you done messed up your lifestyle, right? Now you want to come and mess with us because we clean. We ain't got time for that. That's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes war. Right here, we call this war because they came into this small town. And if you look up, Greenville has one of the highest AIDS rates in North Carolina. I mean, in the nation. Has one of the highest AIDS rates in the nation. So that means they just compiled themselves here. They just compiling themselves here. Right? Blending in. And this is how we got to cover ourselves because they don't care because they got it. We call them walking zombies, walking suicide bombs. They dead already, the walking dead. You got to pay attention to this. And that's why we always say everything that glitter ain't gold, baby. The ancestors teach you that, boy, that just cause that look good, that right there ain't Girl, cause he look good, right? We got to be aware of these things because you got your children you got to protect and you got yourself you got to protect from these people who came over here to go to war with us. In our town is a whole lot of envy and jealousy of people who came in like through these projects where they stuck my mama back in so they can control where Coletta go. So they can control Precious, right? Just like I told you, they got my daughter, they got her room tracked all the way the hell out. I'll put the bike there. But you see how they got her room tracked all the way the hell out from the back. Then you got a man that stayed over there. You got two men at this back door. You got a man at that back door, man at that back door, a man at that back door, and two men at this back door. All these men at this back door on my daughter. I got a problem with this, especially when they tracking down the Americans to poison us or do whatever so they can replace us through Social Security numbers. There has been a scam down here for ions. Well, they've been taking our ancestors out for life insurance money. If it ain't life insurance, it's something else. But mainly life insurance, because a life insurance policy is the quickest way they can get a quick come up just by somebody being dead, unalive. Right? So you got to think of all the ways a person will want to go to war with you without fighting. These are some of their tactics. Just some of them. Now, I'll be back with some more information update that we can have some discussions on. But it's just a few topics that we need to start talking about and get off this internet with somebody controlling what you're talking about. Get off this internet front, because next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start going around and showing where some of y'all people live at who getting up here acting like you got so much money. I can show them how you really living and how you getting down and how half of you still staying with your mom. The majority of you own a housing or a Section 8 program that's paying your rent. So we're going to cut this stunting on the books and all this YouTube and all this on this internet out. Especially when the government shut down and everybody going crazy. Especially the ones who we claim that had the money, right? I mean, what does the government shutdown got to do with your pockets? That's when we start asking questions. Girl, what that government shutdown got to do with your pockets? I thought you had it like that. Oh, you ain't have it like that, girl, when the government taking care of you the whole time. So you mean to tell me you can't afford that big house without Section 8? You can't afford that apartment without Section 8? How? Girl, we've been paying bills ever since I was in high school. So they don't like when you talk like that because it shows they stunt and motherfuckers don't like to be called out. It's 2025. It's too many people out here on Section 8 acting like they rich. They need to cut it out. Especially when most of them not even American. Getting free government money. Tax season coming. Just imagine how much money they get ready to get off these kids alone that ain't even their kids on taxes. But hey, this just some stuff we got to bring to the forefront, family, especially when they try to make it like the Americans is doing bad. And we not. We taking care of the whole world while they over here begging. And we got to remind them, baby. Girl, get your hand out of my pocket. Get your hands out of my pocket, girl. Get your hands out of my pocket. Get your hands out of my pocket. I'll be back, family. We got some topics. I got to bring some receipts with what I'm talking about. Boy, I'll be back. Y'all know I like to bring receipts with what I'm talking about. Boy, I don't like to just talk. I like to show and tell. I like show and tell, baby. I like show and tell. That's why I be walking around, because you got to, as a journalist, before you do your report, boy, you got to talk it out, because you got to figure out how you got to say it before you lay it on wax, boy. I'm here to lay it on wax. Stop stunting y'all off American dollars. I'll be back with my receipts. Yeah, we're gonna shut this laboratory down at this school, boy. They done turn our colleges into daggone drug cartel getaways. I mean, when you walk past the college, the kids look like they just gone, like at A's breeding ground. They turned these apartments, they built up all these apartments here because these are people they bringing from across that water, other cities and states that have AIDS. We know this. That's why we walk alone. That's why we by ourselves. And this is why they want to mess with us, because they know that we ain't with that AIDS trip that they own outside. And that's why I be talking loud, girl, and boy, you don't get your AIDS patient tail away from me. And they get on. Because they know. Ain't nobody with that. You following somebody around with your disease, being sick and nasty. Ain't nobody with that. That's why they try to put me in my mama's house and loaded this daggone house with roaches. I mean, you be amazed at the extent these people going through in 2025, family. That's why I'm sick and sad, boy. That's all you can do is just sit back, shake your damn head up, and pick up you some pocket change. Y'all live with Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot friends, and yes, it's always stuff under my nails, right? And that's why I want to show y'all. Just like the clothes. It's every time we go into these houses, it's whatever this black stuff they laying around that they trying to take my hair out with. And bad cause it's still growing. I mean, it's hair. It's whatever they doing to try to break our skin out with, because we at war. That's why they try to put us in a controlled environment where they can control our movement. They can control the intake of our food and control who around us. That's why they put up these camera systems and following you in an earbud, telling somebody what to do, because they all working together, even inside the store. Coding. Be aware of that, family. When you walk and see who moving when you move. When you in these stores and in these banks, especially check the people working inside the bank and the people that's coming in with them and how they talking and communicating with each other, because they're using sign language. This is war, family. This is dealing with war. This isn't dirt because I'm dirty. This is them putting stuff inside of my mama house. Every time I walk into my mama house, or just like my car, every time I get into my car, I'm wiping off black stuff. Black folks don't wipe off black, baby. It don't work that way. That's why I get sick and sad watching them. Then it's November. We got bees and mosquitoes and flies outside. That's war, family. You live with Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot friends. Be aware of your surroundings. This is why we smoke. It's supposed to keep the bugs away, but these bugs are not real bugs. They are GMO bugs. They fly right through the smoke. I mean, it's like they want to be inside the smoke. These are GMO bugs, family. They're not real bugs. They're bugs that are created to make you sick. It's just like the ants and stuff are still out. Everything is still outside. Nothing has went in hibernation. You live with Snapchat. We're going to figure it out, family. I'll be back. Hey, God. There's God up there in the sky. Let me see. God, where you at? Where you at, God? I know you up there somewhere. I can't find God. This how me and God be photobombing each other. Boy, look at that duck right there. Boy, look at that duck right there. Duck, goose. Look at that duck right there. Y'all see that duck right there in that tree? Let's see. Y'all see the duck right here. Look at the duck head. That's them coding. Even in our trees. That's them coding with the flowers and stuff. You got to be aware of these street codes. The gang unit know exactly what I'm talking about, because they deal with it in their area. And when you see a duck in a big as that, well, that means there's some money outside. And that's probably why that car broke down over there with that tile. You know, Snapchat. I'll be back with some more goddamn data. I ain't playing with them. Not when they thought that we were going to be scared of them for what? They didn't want to go to war physically fighting. They wanted to go to war with poison, toxics, stuff that they rub on your skin. They got a melatonin spray at the Dollar Tree where they buying, and they spray it on your bed or in your car or on something, and you just lay on it or smell it, and it passes you out. You got to be aware of this, fam, especially women out here. Especially the women. Be very careful of that one. Because you won't even be aware that they done sprayed it down in there to knock you out. Because it's a spray. Look it up. It's a melatonin spray. I'll be back, family. Boy, we at war. I was trained for this. Homeland Security. At your service.